Hi, Peter Thomson here, and I'm talking to you from WeWork, which is a co-working space in New York, just off Broadway down in the financial district. And I just thought I'd jump into a meeting room. I just had a conversation on Skype with Matt Johnson, who's one of the leads on the 500 Startups Distribution Fund. So that's a new investment fund from the 500 Startups team focused on distribution, growth, and marketing. So they're investing into companies where they can really make a difference in that area. So it comes along with a pretty active set of like mentoring and activity, which is one of the reasons that I wanted to talk to Matt. So he just gave me the download. I guess I'm really excited about what we talked about, so I just wanted to share it with you guys. We talked really about like why the distribution fund exists relative to 500 startups generally. And it's something that's very dear to my heart because obviously now I'm working on the kind of distribution, marketing and growth side of what we're doing at Seed Invest with our platform and like really looking at how we grow Seed Invest. So I'm interested in like what 500 Startups is doing with startups generally and how they're helping them grow, because I think there's a lot for me to learn and there's some things that I can share as well from the stuff that I've learned. So Matt was talking about why 500s are really leaning into that like growth, marketing and distribution area of what they're doing. He made the comment that if you look at some of the other accelerators and some of the other kind of early stage investors out there in the ecosystem, particularly in Silicon Valley, given the chance, kind of all things equal, a lot of those investors are going to invest in tech founders who have either a product but haven't yet had a chance to market it, haven't yet found an audience for it, but there's some kind of like PhD, computer science, hardcore tech behind it. And it's very similar to like the Innovation Warehouse and their approach in the London market. And by contrast, like 500 is always going to look for tech, they're going to look for product, but actually all other things equal, they're probably going to err on the side of a company or a team that is strong in growth, marketing, distribution, and it has some sort of, he used this term like unique customer insight or some sort of like unique view on marketing, distribution, or some sort of go-to-market strategy. And I think that's really interesting. I think it's true. Some of it's born out of the fact that Dave McClure, who's founder of 500, obviously comes from a marketing and consulting background, a little bit like myself. And I think a lot of the team who are part of 500, and particularly 500 Distro, which is their distribution bit, are just incredibly strong in marketing already. And I think they've all seen the difference that that can make to a startup. And I know I have. Like I know no matter how good your widget is, if you can't get it out there and explain it to people and find people that want it, then you don't actually have a business. So I'm pretty excited about what that means and what they're working on. I think that is really their point of difference as a fund and what they're focusing on as a team, which I think is interesting. So I'm hoping that I can kind of help them out with some of what they're doing in New York and contribute to that, which is really exciting. It's really one of the reasons that I moved to America in the first place, is that I wanted a chance to work with the YCs, the tech stars, the 500 startups, the kind of the accelerators, the investors, the people that are absolutely at the top of the game and making a difference to the startup scene. And so the chance to actually be kind of in those conversations and be part of that is really exciting. So that's pretty cool. And even just the chance to talk to Matt. So he had some really interesting insights. We already kind of got in the conversation into talking about what we're working on at Seed Invest and like how things are going for us and how we're growing and some of the issues that he sees across lots of different companies, which to be honest, I've seen with the companies that we're working with, and even in my background back in London, there are some really interesting things that happen when you've got a company that's trying to grow, you're experimenting across different growth channels, but there's a lead time. So with someone joining Seed Invest, for example, they'll sign up on day one, but they might not actually make an investment until a little bit later on. And that gap create some interesting knock-on effects in terms of how you measure different marketing channels, how you measure ROI, all of that sort of stuff. So there's some really interesting things to play around there in terms of analytics, tech, stuff like that, which we're already doing at Seed Invest. But I think I'm really excited about the chance to kind of share that with other companies and then see how some other companies are approaching that, So Matt and I are going to probably catch up again, talk about some of those issues, which is really interesting to me. And then also I'm going to spend some time hanging out with some of the companies in the New York ecosystem that 500 is connected to already. So we're already talking to Pigeon Box, which is a really exciting, interesting company. They're doing care package deliveries for college students, and they're a really, really interesting business that 500's already invested in, and I'm going to get a chance to meet a few more of them. So looking forward to keeping that conversation going.